Oh man, um, I'm pretty buzzed. Say on the verge of drunk. And this is for you, Video Massacre, Film Trauma, Dustis, Garth, Andy, Keith, Gary, Klon, Ulcer, Percussor, Solstice, Demolition Hammer, and Deadpool. Okay, so as I've informed you, dude, it's so hot here in San Antonio, Texas. It's just a whimperingly brutal, exhausting, sapping, strength debilitating, nightmarishly, hellishly hot. It's just, and I've lived here all my life, and I can't take it. But I went to Buddy Garth's drinking, and then it started raining. There was this lightning, thunder, and it started raining like really bad. It was great. It was just, power went out, so that sucked. And then I was like, dude, Garth, open the doors. Let some circulation in here. And he opens his front door and he's like, holy shit. He's like, dude, this tree fell down in my neighbor's front yard. And I go out, I look, and I was like, this tree's just uprooted, laying in the front yard of, it was about like 4 houses down. And Garth's like, dude, we gotta go help. So we go out there and like, we just start clearing brush and branches. And there's a dude with the chainsaw. He's cutting the limbs off, branches. And long story short, dude, it felt so good to help. Like, I was like, oh, I was buzzed and drunk and still drunk now. And I was like, I don't want to do this. But as I was doing it, I was like, this feels really good. I loved it. I thought about like working, like, you know, my day job, washing dishes, and I was like, this is so much better. I love this. I could do this all day, just helping someone. And I didn't even talk to the guys that was sawing the limbs off. And there was one part where like one guy was like, hey homie, watch out. Like, he was cutting off a big limb, and I was underneath it, and he's like, hey, get out of the way. And then like I picked up a big log that he had cut off, and I threw it on the pile, and it like bounced back and it landed on my foot. I was like, be careful, like he's gonna get hurt. The dude with the chainsaw, he almost got hurt. No one got hurt, but there's a dude. You know, we're trying to help each other, but we have to be more careful. Like, someone could get hurt. But we cleared as much as we could. It got to a point where like it was just a trunk, and the guy's like, my saw's not big enough for this. You know, I'll get another one. I'll come back. We cleared everything. I remember one guy was like, we're just like ants, and I was like, yeah. And yeah, it just felt so good. I'm like, now I could almost like burst into tears, because it felt so good to help. And I've never really done anything like this before. Like, help some, maybe I have, I just can't remember, but I was just, this is, it made me feel so good to do this. I wish I could have a job. I mean, not even, I mean, you can't, you have to get paid, but I wish I could do something like this to help people. I wouldn't even need money. And like I said, like, no one said a word to me, but when I was leaving, when we were done, I go, hey, thank you, sir. And I was like, he was talking to me. I was like, you're welcome. I'm like, thank you, like, for letting me help. So that was just It was great. I loved it. Maybe if you've ever done anything like this, let me know. It was, yeah, I even just been running in my mind. Like, it was only like about 4 hours ago, so it's still fresh, and yeah, it just felt so good to help. So I'm gonna review a movie that did not give me a good feeling. Cat Sick Blues. I watched with my buddy Kyle and his girlfriend. Cat Sick Blues. It's a British movie. It's about a guy that his cat died, and he thinks that if he kills 9 people, it'll bring it back to life. But it's also about this girl who she has a cat named Imelda that has become a viral sensation. And then, yeah, this movie is so messed up, man. Like, I'd actually heard about Cat Sick Blues before through, if you've heard of Spooky Rice on YouTube and Sick on Cinema, they reviewed it. And I heard how disturbing this movie was, but and it is so good. Like, the director, I can't remember his name, just look him up. This is a super low budget movie, but the music is good. It's not a movie I would normally watch, but I just heard it was good, so I was like, well, let me see it. And Kyle had it, so yeah. The gore is disgusting. There's a lot of like head chopping and severed heads, and the heads look so good. Like, I could appreciate that. But it's just so downtrodden and horrendous. Like, it's really just a bleak exploration of a serial killer, to where it made me feel bad for the killer too. I was like, he has to live in this messed up world that he's made for himself. And there's the girl that has lost her cat Imelda. She gets sexually assaulted, and then she goes to like a group meeting for people that have lost their pets. That's where she meets the killer, like the 9 Lives cat killer. And yeah, this is one of the most disturbing movies I've seen. Like I heard it was, and I was like, okay, let's see how good it is. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I would had known how messed up this movie is, I wouldn't have watched it. But I just, Kyle had it. We've been hanging out. Like last week we saw the Manson Family, so we've been doing like a Saturday movie night. We're gonna do another one next week, but yeah, this one was just, it's just almost excruciatingly disturbing, but it's good. It's still good. There's some parts that were genuinely creepy and scary, disturbing, and it's about cats, and everyone loves cats. The killer is just despicable. Honestly, I have to give it a 4 out of 5 for Manos Hands of Fate. Yeah, the director also, he does a podcast called Show Me Something Wrong, which I have discovered so many good disturbing movies from recently, and I don't know if he's made I think he's made a couple of short films, and he lives in Japan now, but dude, make a Richard Lehman novel movie. Cat Sick Blues guy. Yeah. So if you want to see something really disturbing, watch it. If not, just watch Galaxy Invader or Terminator 2, Robo War. I mean, I almost can't recommend it, but just because I'm not into that stuff anymore, which sounds pretty wimpy. Like that scream that you just heard, that was me watching the whole movie, like, inside. So yeah, this is like a recommendation, not recommendation of Cat Sick Blues. I don't know, man. It was really confusing. I'm trying to. There was some funny parts, but and then it flips out towards the end. And to me, to give a spoiler, like the end is almost like a dream sequence. So I'm glad, like, when we snap back into reality. So, and my friend Kyle got this at some horror convention for $5. I think it was from Wild Eye. But Cat Sick Blues, man, I'm glad I watched it. Again, just the only word I can think of is disturbing. So, check it out at your own risk. But check out Ulcer, dude, previously from Florida, but now residing in Portland, Oregon. Just good death thrash, man. So we'll see what I can do. I got other suggestions for movies, and let me know what you can find. Cat Sick Blues. Oh yeah, and then, like, when they show the Cat Sick Blues title, there's some like just there's some brutal noise grind on it. So I'll see you later.